Well, hello, my friends, and welcome to the Live Inspired Podcast, Monday Morning Moments with John O'Leary. During today's episode, I'm going to be sharing a little bit about an old song, a Lincoln Town Car, and my grandfather's lesson on making the most of the time that we are given in life. It all came from looking at an old picture of the two of us. There was a Grandpa Bobby right next to me and a little version of John O'Leary next to him, big smiles on both of our faces. I don't remember anything about the day it was taken. But what I do remember is the man beside me and the countless lessons that I've learned from him. When I got older, he got a little older too, Grandpa Bob would pick me up from work every Tuesday and we'd head off to lunch together. It was always either at a little Italian place or a Chinese place. Without fail, Grandpa would spill something on his tie. He'd use some language that would make General George Patton blush. And then he'd leave a tip far more than any bill was required of. Trust me, very generous man. I treasured those Tuesday lunches. I treasured that time with Grandpa. I loved his booming laugh, his unwavering faith, and his life stories that seemed to offer exactly the wisdom I needed for whatever season I was walking through. There was one more thing that happened. It always occurred. On our drive back to work, Grandpa would reach over, he'd hit play, and turn the volume up on his favorite CD. The CD in the player was, not the one you're probably thinking, Mike and the Mechanics. That would have probably been a guess pretty far down on your list. Mike and the Mechanics. That's right, my 80-year-old grandpa loved to rock out in his Lincoln Town Car, windows down, singing along to In the Living Years. You remember that song? As a young person, I was often embarrassed. Today, I can't hear that song without thinking about Grandpa or the lessons he was teaching me long before I was ready to fully embrace and hear it. The tragedy in life isn't simply that we lose the people we love. That happens. It's believing we'll always have another Tuesday. It's assuming there will always be one more lunch, one more drive, one more conversation, one more Mike and the Mechanics karaoke session with your grandpa. And yet, my friends, family, listeners, life rarely tells us when we're living the last time. The last lunch usually feels like every other lunch. The last drive usually feels like just about every other drive. The last hug feels pretty ordinary, like every other hug. In other words, these experiences, they all feel mundane. They all feel ordinary, usual, until one day, it's not. One day it's our last. Years after Grandpa's death, I finally understood why that song meant so much to him. No, it's not because of the musical genius of Mike or his Mechanics. It's because of the reminder hidden within the lyrics. The living years. The living years are the only ones when gratitude can still be spoken and forgiveness can still be offered. The living years are the only years when questions can still be asked, relationships can still be repaired, and love can still be expressed. Most of us carry regrets we'll never fully erase. Maybe conversations we postponed, maybe forgiveness we delayed, maybe gratitude we never fully, completely expressed. And while we cannot go back in time, we can decide whether these regrets become our greatest source of guilt or our greatest source and inspiration for growth. The past, my friends, is a remarkable teacher. But the past, my friends, is a terrible place to live. So, let's learn from our regrets. Let's become quicker to forgive, quicker to encourage, and quicker to show up. Let's choose to be love, to model gratitude, and to exude joy. While we cannot undo yesterday's mistakes, we can redeem them by refusing to make them again today. That's how regret becomes wisdom. That's how the past changes the future. And that's how we live more fully in the living years. That's worth rolling down the windows and singing about today, my friends. So say it loud. Say it clear. Today is your day. What a gift it is. Live with your soul on fire.